Hey everyone, Jay here. As always, I'm here to talk you through some ways in which we might adapt our CrossFit linchpin workouts for kids. I'm going to offer you some recommendations for the way we might set up a class. I'm going to talk about a general warm-up, a specific warm-up, how the workout will work and where I've got a similar stimulus from the RX adults workout, offer a game option for you, and then just a suggestion for a cool down. We're going to take a closer look at Monday the 27th of June. And the reason I've chosen the Monday is a couple of videos ago I showed you something you could do for an overhead squat heavy day, and as there's the heavy day complex on the Tuesday, which you could use a similar setup to the session that I used a few weeks ago. I've decided to take a closer look at Monday the 27th. So we've got a great workout. We've got a triplet, so we've got 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you do 50 and 5, 50 push-ups, 50 double unders, 5 rope climbs, and then there's so on and so on going down, 40, 30, 20, 10, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, I love these movements for adapting for CrossFit kids. Now, the way that I'm going to discuss how I've adapted it is based on the equipment and the facilities I have. You might be in a huge gym where you've got 5 or 6 rope climb stations and you can do some really great rope climb progressions. We're in a small garage here, so we spend a lot of our time doing sort of pull up or bar hanging progressions in place of rope climbs. Even myself, I adapt the sort of the rope climbs to the chest to bars or pull-ups when I'm doing those workouts instead. So for a general warm-up, we're going to have just a bit of a 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off, 5 rounds, and we're going to just do some air squats, hollow to Superman, some shuttle runs over about 10 meters, and then some skipping with the rope. It's a good opportunity here to practice the skipping and see where the children are at for the skipping for the workout. For our specific warm-up, for our skills, I'm going to offer you some options, and I would pick a particular element to focus on. So I'm going to go through some push-up and plank progressions, and I would pick 1 or 2 of them to work on through your session. The same with a pull-up or bar hanging progressions. I'm going to offer you some of the different progressions you might work through. Again, pick 1 or 2 to work through, and then during that time you can play some plank wars or some bar hanging games using those progressions that you're going to likely use in the workout. So for the workout, as with most of our CrossFit Kids workouts, we're going to do an AMRAP for quality. Remember, one of those key points of doing an AMRAP, particularly in a class setting, is that there's no winners or losers. And yes, that's absolutely important to teach your children how to win, how to lose, but not when we're trying to pair fitness with fun. We don't want them to think, oh, I'm always losing to this person, or I never win the workout. So by having an AMRAP, all the children finish at the same time. So we've got AMRAP for quality, quality of movement, quality of focus, quality of enjoyment. 10 push-up progressions. So wherever you decide to focus on from the videos, you do 10 of those progressions. It could be that it's a 10 seconds of work of one of the progressions. 20 skips. If you have a child that can do double unders, fantastic. Get them to do their double unders. I'd say for most children, it's skips. It could potentially be lateral hops over a skipping rope, or forwards and backwards hop over a skipping rope. It could be that they're just doing jumping jacks, depending on where they're at with that skill. And then we've got 5 pull-up or bar hanging progressions. Again, depending on what progression you choose from the video, you can slot that in there. It could be that you're holding a hang for maybe 5 to 10 seconds. Entirely up to you and whatever fits best with the children that you're working with. Now we've got a game here called Hungry Crabs, very much like Hungry Hippos or Rob the Nest style games. In the middle of your playing area, you're going to have lots of bean bags, cones, it could be some light plates, and the children are going to do a crab walk from their zone in their teams. They each have 4 teams, 4 zones with a place where they're going to collect the objects from the middle. They're going to crab walk to the middle, place the object on their stomach, keeping their hips nice and high. They're going to crab walk back, place the object in the hoop, and then one of their teammates will continue that. Play for a minute or so, stop the clock. You can play a competition wise, so one of the teams wins, or you can play a group's personal best. How many can you get right? Can you beat your score next time? So the game is a great opportunity to add in some of that competition elements as well. And then for a cool down, our skill study or challenges, I've just put on here to work on some rope climb progressions or some double unders, depending on what facilities you have, depending on where the children are at in their workout. It could be that these aren't appropriate for you. So then the CrossFit Startup Curriculum's got some great ideas for challenges and after session activities. Have fun with this workout, guys. Okay, Jonah's going to show us the warm-up push-up. He's going to start with his hands underneath his shoulders, his feet together. He's going to worm his way up to the top of a plank position. There's an ever slight overextension in his spine because some children might not have the prerequisite strength to hold that rigid body on the way up. On the way down, he's going to send his elbows back, keeping his body as straight as possible. One more for me, Jonah. And elbows back. Good job. Okay, Jonah's going to take us through a box elevated push-up. He's going to turn and face the box. He's going to place his hands on the edge of the box. He's going to walk his feet back, keeping his body straight. He's going to lower his body, keeping his elbows back. Once his chest touches the box, he's going to press up. So we start in the extended position as if we're in a plank. We lower our chest to the box. This is where we go, and we press ourselves back out, and this is where we finish for our elevated box push-up. With a box push-up, we only want to be seeing a rigid line in the body here. We don't want to see any worming like we do for the worm push-up. Okay, Jonah's going to take us through a regular push-up. He's going to lie down on his front. He's going to get his feet together. His hands are going to be beneath his shoulders, keeping his body tight in a straight line right from his shoulder all the way down to his ankle. He's going to press up into the top of a plank position. To come down, he's going to send his elbows back, chest on the floor, and then he's going to repeat that again for me 2 more times. And rest. So the next few videos will go through some plank ideas. They'll be described in the videos as games you could play during skill, warm-ups or cool-downs. These movements could just as easily be added to a workout for a number of reps, the length of time, however you choose to use them. Ava's going to take us through a variation that we can... Ava's going to show us a game that we can play with our plank wars or plank races. She's going to get herself into a plank position facing a kettlebell or a cone, and on go she's going to tap with her right hand and her left hand and move along maintaining a plank position. As you can see, we could play facing each other if you had enough space. Unfortunately, we don't have enough space in here. You could also have this as a relay race where you've got a number of team members lined up one after the other. So on go, Ava's going to get herself into a plank position. She's going to tap right hand, left hand, moving all the way along. Ready? Go. Great job. And you can see you could have somebody on the other side facing that person. Again, you could have relays. Ava could go up and back, then tag a partner. Again, with all these sort of games, you're only limited by your imagination. Jonah's going to take us through one demonstration of a game that we can play with our plank races. You can do this facing each other, a bit like a quick draw in a Western, or you can line people up to have a race. The aim of this is to do a full rotation, starting facing the cone, full rotation, end up back facing the cone first. So Jonah's going to get into a plank position. He's going to, on go, he's going to rotate all the way around 360 back to the cone. And this can be done side by side, or you're only limited by your imagination how you want to set this one up. Ready? Go! And it will be the first one back to the cone here. Okay. Okay, one of the other options for our warm-up is going to be a gorilla plank. So we're going to get our child into the top of a push-up position, and then they're going to tap their shoulders with their opposite arm, tapping their shoulder, alternating while keeping a really flat back. And then they're going to see how fast they can do it. Great, maintaining a nice straight line throughout their body, and rest there. Good job. So these videos will be some bar hanging progressions that you could use. We start with the bar hang, so we're thinking hands shoulder width apart, nice long body, active shoulders, so we've got that suspended hang, so there's a gap between the shoulder and the ears, keeping that nice long toe position. We're maintaining that position through as many movements as possible, and we're just going to add a layer of complexity. So we've got hand releases, so re-gripping and releasing the bar. We have side to side traverse, so just adding a bit of movement into that. Following our side to side traverse, ideally have your athlete looking forwards instead of up at their hands if possible. We've got our monkey hang, so tapping here and releasing, so they're working a bit more intensely on their grip here. And finally, after our monkey hangs, we're going to move on to our round the world, so adding some rotations in there, so we're getting some nice vestibular stimulation from this part of the movement. The first option we have for our pull-up progressions is a toe-assisted pull-up. This could be done kipping, so moving from an arch to a hollow, or it could be done in a more strict line of action. Next progression would be strict pull-ups after you've been working systematically through the bar hanging progressions and the toe-assisted progressions, reducing the amount of need for their feet, their legs. Then they should be able to perform some strict pull-ups. And finally piecing all those together for kipping pull-ups.